There are some mind-blowing statistics that make up the AUM Jeopardy Cycle. And once you understand them, you can use them to your favor to protect your existing assets, but also to capture new assets.
This is The Rare Advisor, proud to be a part of the Advisor Advancement Network and home of a business model supercharged by recurring and repeatable events. Your host is Mike Walters, CEO of USA Financial. He is an investment advisor representative of and securities are offered through USA Financial Securities, member FINRA SIPC, a registered investment advisor.
There are some crazy powerful statistics as it relates to your clientele within your financial advisory practice that I call the Revenue Jeopardy Cycle. There is truly a cycle of jeopardy that exists inside your database because, as we know, one of the most important assets you have in your business is your clientele and the relationship that you maintain with them. We are in a very intangible business. We don't have, warehouses and manufacturing plants and all of this heavy equipment. The assets in our business are our time, our expertise, our people, our technology, our money, and how we leverage it, and our clientele and those relationships. And yet there is a huge percentage of that business, of those relationships, that is at risk all the time within the Jeopardy cycle. And it has to do with these stats right up here. 45% of couples over the age of 55 will divorce. 67% of the divorced will remarry while over the age of 55. 70% of women experience widowhood. 80% of new widows fire their advisor. And 97% of inheritors fire their parents' advisor. This creates the cycle that I'm talking about. And you want to make sure that you have a way to protect your relationships. So you want to work at making sure that both people in a marriage understand that the plan is built for them. And I would argue it's built even more for the survivor than it is for the first to die. And then you want to make sure that the adult children understand that this plan was not only built to protect and favor their parents, but also to be in their best interest as well, so that you can make these statistics work against or work for you rather than against you. Now, keep in mind, the flip side is when these clients move out of a practice, they're moving into a different practice as well. So you want to retain it on one side of the table, and then you want to capture it from others on the other side of the table. So let's look at how this math works out. If you've got $1 million of revenue coming from a married couple, or from married couples, I should say, inside of your practice, $550,000 of that, 55%, is going to remain married. $450,000 is going to divorce. Of those that remain married, 385,000 are going to experience widowhood because 70% of those women experience widowhood. That means that because 80% of the new widows fire their advisor, that means 308,000 is going to walk out of your practice, leaving you with 242,000 remained, whether they're single or married at this point. Then we jump over to divorced. Likely, you're only going to retain probably one of the two. So 225, half of it's going to walk right out the door. And then of that which remains, 150,000 is going to remarry. So we're going to bring that over here. So let's put a pause on that for a second. That means 75,000 remains with your singles who stay unmarried after that divorce. Then we jump over to the divorce but remarry. That 150 that we drug over here, 105 of that is going to experience widowhood. That's going to leave you 74,000 walking out the door with 31,000 remaining. Then if we add the 342, the 75, and the 31, we're going to get 348,000 in total, meaning 35% of the 1 million has remained in your practice. So 65% of your assets are at risk just through the normal attrition of life. Now we talk about the next generation. So we bring this 348 down here. We'll call it an easy 350, 35%, right? 35% is going to go on to the next generation. Well, they tell us that 97%, unbelievable, that came from Forbes, 97% of inheritors fire their parents' advisor. So of the 242, of the 242, 235 is going to walk out the door, only 7 is going to remain. Of this 75 up here, 73 is going to walk out the door, only $3,000 is going to remain. Of this 31 up here, 30 is going to walk out the door, only 1's going to remain. You're looking at $11,000, only 1% out of $1 million of current revenue from married couples. That's just the average normal statistics in this industry. So the key is, number one, be on the right side of the statistics, not the wrong. Be the exception to be able to retain these clients as they go through these sorts of things. That's A. B is understand that this is happening to all the other advisors out there, and you want to be positioning yourselves during these changes in life to capture the assets as they're leaving that advisor, statistically speaking, and now coming to you in a way that you can capture them. So again, math is just math. There's a good side and a bad side to every statistic. You want to play and be on the good side on each side as it goes through these numerics. Be the one who retains it. Be the one who captures it. Good luck.
This information is for licensed financial professionals only and is not intended for use in soliciting sales from the public. The views expressed represent the opinions of the presenter or their featured guest, not necessarily those of USA Financial or its affiliated subsidiaries. Industry references are generic and not intended to represent actions or beliefs of any individual or entity. Content is only presented to illustrate general principles, beliefs, or ideas and should not be construed as legal or regulatory advice. Trademark and copyright protected. USA Financial and Affiliates.